In this video, everything you need to know when planning a holiday to Las Palmas in Gran Canaria. This includes the beaches, the restaurants, the nightlife, what there is to see and do, where to stay, the weather and much more. But also a few money saving tips as well as some warnings to make your holiday perfect. Let's start first with the beaches. Playa de Las Canteras is the biggest and most popular beach in Las Palmas. The first time I came here, I could actually not believe that a big capital city like Las Palmas had a beach like this that is so nice. The sand here is mostly golden soft sand with a little bit of black mixed in here and there, but overall it's a great big relaxing beach. Next to the beach, over the entire promenade, you will find some great bars and restaurants overlooking the entire beach coastline. Also, this beach is very popular for people learning how to surf, and a little bit further in the water you actually have a nice reef if you want to do some snorkeling as well. On some parts of the beach you do have sunbeds, but you don't have the typical water sports here that you see on many other places on the island in the more touristy resorts. But if you do like to be a little bit more active on the beach as well, if you go north to Puntilla, there they do a lot of volleyball in the daytime and in the evening. Also, on the other side of the city, you have another beach called the Playa de Las Alcaravaneras, which is a great beach also, but a little bit less popular with tourists and more with the locals here. There's also lots of sport fields next to this one that are very popular, and you can even do some kayaking from here also. But what about the restaurants here? When it comes to restaurants, you simply have so much choice here. Because it is such a big city, pretty much everything you want you can find here, from very cheap budget places to more classy upscale dining. Also, near the beach you will find simply so many restaurants, so if your ideal dinner is directly next to the beach overlooking the ocean, you can definitely do that here. The main thing I really appreciate here compared to some of the more touristy destinations on the island, they don't have these people who are always trying to convince you and pull you to get into their restaurant to come and eat. So you can just generally relaxed browse the restaurants, see where you really want to eat and go and eat there. And you will see it, there's simply so much variety and choice here, from a very cheap burger and fries to Asian food. There's also different kinds of buffets, all you can eat buffets, and then there is also the typical Spanish food, great seafood restaurants, and lots of places where you can try truly authentic tapas. Where should you stay here and what are the best hotels? The main thing you want to keep in mind here when booking a hotel is the location. It's all about location simply because Las Palmas is so very big. If you book a hotel in the wrong location, it can drastically change your holiday. So to mention some hotels that are in a great location and are also top hotels, first of all I would like to mention the Pool Reina Isabel. This is right next to the Playa de Las Canteras, and the Pool Reina Isabel also has an amazing rooftop pool from where you have great views over the area. Then there's also the Cristina by Tigotan Las Palmas. This is also right next to the Playa de Las Canteras and is also a great hotel. If you're looking for a budget-friendly hotel, but you don't necessarily need to be directly next to the beach, but you still want to have a quality stay, then I would definitely advise you to have a look at the MG Poniente. How is the nightlife here? Nightlife in Las Palmas is pretty relaxed and mostly oriented towards couples and singles, not so much families. For most it's about having just a few drinks next to the sea or in the town, especially near the La Puntilla area. This is near the end of Playa de Las Canteras, where the boats are. It is very nice to chill and relax in the evening. There are also often some street musicians in this area. Also at the bars next to Santa Catalina Park, it is nice to enjoy a quiet evening with a typical local Spanish vibe. On top of that, there's also a casino here with some pretty nice live shows in Las Palmas, but they are more for the locals than for foreign tourists, but of course you can go there and enjoy them as well. A bit further away of the more touristy area of Playa de Las Canteras, you also have Vegueta and Calle Triana. These are very popular at night for a mix of shopping, tapas, wine and cocktails. This area is the typically Spanish area, so it's most lively on the weekends and later in the evening and at night. Things to see and do. Because Las Palmas is not your typical dedicated tourist zone, but a big city, there is not so much here specifically aimed at tourists to do. However, there is a lot of culture, there is a lot of history. You can also do some great snorkeling here. There's very nice markets you can visit. There is rooftop bars to enjoy. There is still a lot to do, and as well, surfing is very popular to learn here as well. Definitely also visit the old town of Vegueta and Triana for that typical authentic Spanish feel. But also let's not forget the Poema del Mar aquarium here in Las Palmas is one of the newest and best attractions on the island. If you do want to explore a little bit further, you do have one of the major bus stops on the island here that can take you to all kinds of destinations. Just know that most of the touristy destinations are quite far away and it will take you normally at least an hour and some of them even 2 hours to get you there by bus. Airport transfers, the options, the prices and a bonus tip. Getting from the airport in Gran Canaria to Las Palmas is not the easiest because it is towards the north and not towards the south where most of the tourist destinations are. One option here is to take the public bus or the public transport. This is generally the cheapest option, but do know that the bus will stop quite far away from your hotel, especially if you're staying near the Playa de Las Canteras. The price for this is about €2.95 one way. Then another option is just to take a taxi at the airport. They generally start at about €44, but do know that if you're traveling in the evening or on Sundays, the price will be higher. Especially when you're traveling in the high season or on Saturday when there are a lot of arrivals on the island, it is better to reserve a taxi in advance. This is also great if you want to have child safety seats, if you want to have a lot of luggage with you. To reserve a taxi in advance is about €67 or a minibus you can take from €97. For many people, renting a car is generally the best and sometimes also the cheapest because getting to and from Las Palmas with a taxi will cost you about €100 and renting a car for an entire week will cost you normally about €140, €150. So basically for an extra 40 or 50 euros you have a car for an entire week that you can take all over the island to explore and see more of Gran Canaria and get more out of your holiday in Gran Canaria. Just make sure that for Las Palmas, wherever you are staying, you need to check if there's any parking nearby, because in some places you can only park with paid parking. The shuttle, taxi and car rental companies I would advise you can find on my website checkedholidays.com/guide, as well as a 10% discount code. You will also find there a lot of extra tips that will make your holiday to the Spanish islands even better. How is the weather and when is the best time to go? Las Palmas has good weather pretty much all year round and feels lively most of the year, but during the winter months it can be a little bit cloudier and rainier than in the south of the island, though not by much. So if you want to be guaranteed the best weather, it is best to visit during the summer months, but winters here can be lovely as well, just not as nice as in the south of the island. The cheapest time to visit normally is in the second half of September. May is also cheap, but September typically has better weather compared to May. Good deals can also be found in March, April, June, September and October, but always outside of the school holidays. If you're traveling during the school holidays, Las Palmas is also a great place to escape to, as many of the southern resorts this time of year will generally be overrun with families and will feel very crowded and busy. Just a few quick warnings. While Gran Canaria is a very nice and safe place to visit on all the islands, all over Spain, everywhere in the world where there are tourists, there will be people trying to take advantage of them. In the next part, I just quickly want to advise you for the most common scams that you will find in this area, so you can avoid them and have a perfect holiday on Gran Canaria without any problems or hassle. You will often find flyers on the street that offer some kind of cheap excursion. In general, I would stay away from these because most of the time they either offer some kind of a presentation or some kind of upselling, or they will stop at an overpriced restaurant where you need to eat for like 1 hour before the trip continues. These kind of things, in general, they are not worth it. While most taxi drivers are fair and honest, some are not. So always when getting in a taxi, start by saying, can I pay by card? So they know you will be paying by card and everything will be registered. And also ask a receipt at the ending, and then they will also never play any tricks on you because you will have a clear written proof. If you're renting a car online before arrival, make sure to do it with a company you know and trust. This because each time I arrive at an airport, I see people in arguments with their car hire company because they're not getting the price they were expecting. There's upselling, they need extra insurance, there's all these kind of things. So for this reason, don't go for the cheapest price, go for the company you can trust. If you want to know the company I use as well as the one I would advise, you can find that on my website at checkedholidays.com/guide. So who is this holiday destination best for? Las Palmas offers the best mix of authenticity, big city vibes, culture and beach, and is therefore very popular with adults and couples, especially older couples, like the many restaurants, Playa de Las Canteras beach and the long beach promenade. Also, singles might like this place for co-working and surfing. Low prices compared to other more well-known holiday destinations on the island are also an excellent selling point for many. If you are looking for a more typical holiday destination or traveling as a family, Las Palmas might not be ideal for you. To make sure your next holiday is perfect, have a look at this page on my website, checkedholidays.com/guides, where you can find all the companies I like to travel with, some discount codes, as well as some tips and tricks to make your holiday even better, or have a look at this video.